Why toxic relationships feel harder to leave. Let me ask you something real quick, and I need you to be honest with yourself right now. Have you ever cried yourself to sleep over someone, and then woke up the next morning missing them anyway? Have you ever blocked someone's number, and then unblocked it at 2 a.m., telling yourself just one last time? Have you ever known, deep in your gut, that this relationship was destroying you, but leaving felt more terrifying than staying? And the scariest question of all, have you ever wondered if something is actually wrong with you for not being able to walk away? If you said yes to even one of those, this video was made for you. Because what you've been feeling, that's not weakness. That's not stupidity. That is not you being too much or too emotional. That is your brain, literally, scientifically, working against you. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why that happens and what you can actually do about it. So don't go anywhere, because this one's going to hit different. All right, real talk. Let me ask you one more thing. Why do people get addicted to slot machines? It's not because they always win. It's because they win just enough, just randomly enough, to keep pulling that lever over and over and over again, chasing that next hit. Now here's where it gets wild. No cap. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. In your toxic relationship, it runs on the exact same engine as a casino. Think about it. The relationship isn't always bad. There are the good days, the laughing, the tenderness, the version of them you fell in love with showing back up like everything is fine. And those moments of love in a toxic relationship don't just feel good, they feel incredible. Because they are rare. Because you worked for them. Because you survived the bad to finally get there. Your brain's dopamine system, the same system behind every addiction, goes absolutely crazy for that pattern. So you're not chasing a person anymore. You are chasing a feeling, a hit, just like any other addiction. And the more unpredictable the reward, the harder your brain holds on. That's not a character flaw. That is literally how you are wired. But wait, it goes deeper, way deeper. There's something called a trauma bond. And this concept alone has genuinely changed lives. So I need you to really lock in right here. A trauma bond forms when cycles of tension, chaos, and then sudden relief, called the cycle of abuse, create a chemical attachment in your brain. Not an emotional choice. A chemical one. Here's exactly how it works. Things get intense and scary. Your stress hormones go through the roof. Cortisol, adrenaline, the whole thing. Then suddenly, they apologize. They're sweet again. They're the person you fell for. And your brain floods with oxytocin and serotonin. You feel relief. You feel safe. You feel loved. And your brain stamps that moment as one of the most meaningful experiences of your life, because the contrast was so extreme. This is the same mechanism that bonds soldiers together under combat stress. Shared danger creates unbreakable attachment. Except in your situation, you're experiencing the danger alone, and they are both causing the pain and providing the relief. That is a psychological trap so powerful that researchers had to name it specifically. So no, you are not dumb. You are not weak. You are not crazy in love. You are bonded at a neurological level. And that bond does not break just because you know it's toxic. Knowing is not enough. And that's okay, because now we're going to talk about what actually is enough. Okay, so now let's talk about two more forces keeping you stuck, because it is never just one thing, y'all. First up, the sunk cost trap. The more time, energy, tears, and years you put into something, the harder it feels to walk away. Even when it clearly ain't working, your brain goes, but I already gave them 5 years. But we've been through so much. But I know them better than anyone. That right there is sunk cost talking. And it's a trap, because none of that time comes back whether you stay or leave. But your brain processes staying as protecting the investment. And leaving? Leaving feels like throwing it all away. Second, and this one hits hard, identity loss. In long-term toxic relationships, especially ones that started when you were young or vulnerable, your sense of who you are gets tangled up in who you are to them. So leaving doesn't just feel like losing a person. It feels like losing yourself, like stepping off a cliff into nothing, because you genuinely don't know who you are outside of this relationship. And that is terrifying. That is completely real. And it is also, with the right work, something you can absolutely rebuild. One more layer, and this one especially, I need you to really hear. A lot of toxic relationships involve gaslighting, where your partner makes you doubt your own reality, your feelings, your memory, your gut instincts. That never happened. You're being way too dramatic. You'd literally be nothing without me. Over time, that erodes your ability to trust yourself. And when you can't trust yourself, you become dependent on them to tell you what's real. That is a power dynamic built, whether on purpose or not, to keep you locked in. And then there's shame. Society has told people, especially women, but real talk, everyone, that leaving means you gave up. That loving someone means fixing them. That if you just love them harder, they'll change. So staying gets wrapped up in loyalty, in love itself, and leaving starts to feel like failure. But here's the truth, and I need you to write this down if nothing else. Leaving something that's hurting you is one of the bravest things a human being can do. Full stop. No debate. Okay, so now you know why. But knowing why ain't enough by itself. So here's the actual playbook. No fluff. 1. Name what's happening. You just did that in this video. When you feel that pull to go back, you can now literally say to yourself, that's my dopamine system. That is the trauma bond. That is not love. Naming it takes away some of its power over you. 2. No contact. For real this time. Every time you check their page, reread old texts, or reply to that, I miss you, at 2 a.m., you reset the addiction cycle. No contact is not about punishing them. It's about giving your brain the space to detox. And yeah, it will feel like withdrawal. Because neurologically, it literally is. 3. Rebuild who you are. What did you love before this relationship? What got buried? Hobbies, friends, goals, your relationship with yourself. Start there. Even small, even messy. Just start. 4. Get support. You don't have to white-knuckle this alone. Trauma-informed therapy can literally rewire these patterns. And if therapy isn't accessible right now, communities built around healing this stuff are real and they work. You are not the only one going through this. 5. Be patient with yourself. You didn't build this bond overnight. You won't break it overnight. And that's okay. Healing is not linear. Every single day you choose yourself, even just a little bit, that counts. That is real progress. You deserve someone fighting for you. Start by being that person for yourself. If this video made something click for you, if it finally explains something you've been confused about for years, I'm asking you to do one thing. Share this with one person. Not for the views. Because somebody in your life right now is sitting in this exact situation, blaming themselves, wondering what is wrong with them. Send it to them. That might be the thing that actually changes everything for them. And if you want more of this, real psychology, no surface level stuff, no fluff, subscribe to Hexamind. We go deep here, every single time. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care of yourself. For real.